Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie if you don't know me. Today we are going to be doing the eyeshadow palette collection part 2. If you guys haven't seen part 1, I'll link it up here so you guys can see my other palettes that I had. The first part of it, and then now we're gonna get into the second part. Now I have a lot of more eyeshadows to go through, so let's go ahead and get started. I already took out the last palettes that I had in the first drawer, so let's go ahead and get started here. I'm gonna start with this one. This is the Dose of Colors collaboration with Katie and Desi. Katie and Desi are also beauty influencers here on YouTube. If you guys don't know them, go follow them. They're freaking cool and they make really cool videos. So anyways, this is the palette here. This is what it looks like. You guys can see it has been loved. I actually do use this one pretty often. I do like to use the browns in here. There for a minute where I was going through my little neutral kind of look kick, I was using these ones a lot, like these three and then this one, and sometimes I would use this one. I haven't really played with this one a lot, but the other shades I have used a lot. I really like these two. They're really unique. Let me go ahead and swatch them for you so you guys can see. So this is like a black, but it has some shimmer to it, and then this one looks blue in person. I think the camera's picking it up as purple, but it has this really pretty shade in it. It's so different than any other colors that I have in my collection, at least. Really different, and it has like these blue sparkles to it. So purpley blue shade here. It's really pretty. It's one of my favorites in the palette. And then I also like to use the other shimmers in here as well. We have this gold one right here that has like a little green pool to it as well. You can see some green undertones in it. And then there's this shimmery one. This is really pretty. I'll use it on my whole lid with just some browns, or I'll use this one as well with like this darker brown one right here. I really like using that combo. But yeah, this palette is really nice and pretty. I like that you can use this one for like your brow bone or an inner corner highlight. I really like this palette. It's really pretty. I like that the mirror is pretty decent size, so you can see your eyes in it. And of course the packaging on this is really pretty as well. That's what the back looks like, and it tells you like the shade names and stuff like that, which is really cool because when you're making a video, then you can, you know, say, hey, I'm using this one, this one, this one. So yeah, let's move on to this one. This one came in one of my Ipsy ones. This one's really pretty. The shimmers in here are really nice. The only thing I don't like about this palette is that it doesn't really have a lot of transition shades. It has this one, but it doesn't work for all of them. I don't think so, and it's kind of light for me. If you guys can see that right there, I kind of want a color in a palette that you can make it darker on the outer corner just a little bit. So this one I like to use with a different palette, but it is really pretty. I do really like this palette a lot. I like this shade. This one's my favorite shade in the whole palette right here, the shimmer shade. Just watch it for you guys. It's really pigmented. You guys can see that. I like to use that one as a highlight as well, like on my face, on my cheekbones. That one is really pretty to use. The other shades are really pretty too, but this one is my favorite of the whole palette. So this one, sometimes I'll use it just by itself without using the other shade, or like highlight, or just for the whole lid and just a wing liner. It looks really pretty. So that's that one. That is the Lunar Beauty Wondrous Seascape palette. Really pretty. The next one I'll go into are my Colourpop ones, these two here. This one I'm not ever gonna get rid of. This is also another sentimental one for me, just because this is the one that I started my YouTube channel with. If you guys go way back to when I started, this is the palette that I used for my first video. This is the Dream Street Kathleen Lights and Colourpop collab. It's so pretty. It is actually one of my favorites. You guys are gonna tell here in a little bit because it's been loved on. One of the shades broke off, but it's still one of my favorite ones. There's a look that Kathleen came up with using this palette when she first launched it, which it used this one, this one, this one, of course, that broke, and I think it's this one and this one. I don't remember, but it's really pretty. I came up with a look similar to that as my first YouTube video. But yeah, I really do like this palette a lot. I do use it a lot. I would definitely purchase this again once I've used it up, because they still have it online actually. If you guys go on the Colourpop website, you can finally find this palette there. They still have it. It's probably still limited edition, but I think they still have these palettes right now. Colourpop has such great pigment and great products for the price that you pay for. It's really nice. They're really blendable and buildable, of course. The shimmers in here are really pretty. I really like this one a lot, and this one, and they feel so soft. Like, let me swatch them for you guys. That's like a bronzy shade right there, so freaking pretty. And then this is the lighter shade that I just swatched, but they are so nice. I like them a lot. Like I said, this palette, I will never get rid of it because it was my first YouTube video. So this is the Dream Street palette. Moving on to the next one, this is another Colourpop palette. I also like this one a lot. This one's more for my neutral girls. If you guys like a neutral eye look, this one's definitely for you. When I open it, you'll see it has a lot of neutral shades. It has a black, which is always good. You can always deepen out your shades. It has a inner corner highlight or a brow bone highlight. It has these really pretty shimmers in it, and it's really a wearable palette. You can do a lot of looks with this. I do like this one a lot. I don't reach for it as often as I'd like to, but it is really pretty and I do use it. So this is the I Think I Love You palette. I like that it has the names in the back as well, just like this one too. Yep, this one does too. See, the Dream Street one, only they're kind of backwards a little bit. I think when you open it this way and you're looking at it this way, Twinkle is actually not this color, it's this color, and then Star is this one, Stardust is this one, and Magical is this one, and Shooting Star. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys. You'll have to look at the palette if you get it, then you guys can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I really like both of them. Now let's move on to the next palette. Now this one I don't think is available anymore at all. This is the Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne collab. Kristen Leanne is a girl also that does makeup here on YouTube. She's really cool, comes up with these really cool colorful looks. But yeah, this is what the palette looks like. It came with a brush, which I already put in with my brushes a long time ago. This one came out a couple of years ago, I want to say, maybe a year, I don't know, but this one has a lot of cool looking colors in here. I like both of these. Actually, I like the whole palette. It's really pretty. The shape of the palette is kind of annoying to me because they're just all over the place and I just don't like the way that it looks. I don't remember exactly what she was going for when she created the palette, but I like the shades. I just don't like how they're different sizes. Anyways, that doesn't matter. The shades in here are really pretty. The ones that are my favorite of this palette is this one here called Corona. This one is so pretty. This, I don't know if that's gonna pick it up or not, but it's such a pretty shade. It has like a purpley brown undertone and then some like gold on top of it. It's really pretty. Another one that I like is this one here, the one that's split. This one, this part right here is like a blue, and this part right here is that white with blue. So let's see, like blue and purple, like mermaid colors. They are so unique and different. You guys can see how translucent those things are. They are so cool. I like to use them as an inner corner highlight when I come up with, you know, some creative looks, more colorful looks, and I like to use those in the inner corner or even as a face highlight because sometimes those are fun to do just to be a little bit different than your everyday colors, of course. Not gonna be going to work with a green highlight on my face, which I have before. Probably shouldn't, but anyways, that is the Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne palette. It's really cool. It's one of my favorite ones. Actually, you know, I'm gonna keep saying that of all my palettes because I do really like all my palettes. This one is a little bit newer to me. I got it a few months ago. I haven't completely used all of the shades in here. This one is the Alama Plane del Caribe palette. Gabby, if you guys know who she is, she has her own like makeup line and she's friends with Kathleen Lights. If you guys watch her on YouTube, she's pretty cool. That's her friend. So she came up with this makeup line. She has a lot of products now. She has blushes, lip glosses, liquid lipsticks, regular lipsticks, I think, 2 eyeshadow palettes, this one and then the other one that she came up with. So this is the first one that she came out with. She has a newer one that she came out with, and then she has some brushes, I believe, for your eyes. So this is what the palette looks like. It's really pretty. I think they're Cuban, so the whole theme of her like makeup line is, you know, Latina proud and all of that, which is really cool. I really like that. Being a Latina, you know, it's cool to see other fellow Latina girls make it out there and make their own brands and do cool things. So I really do enjoy this palette. The colors that I've used already, I really do love them. I've used all of these four. These are all matte colors in here. I really love this burnt orange shade right here. It's really pretty. The one that attracts me the most is this one right here called El Malacon. This shade is so pretty, so amazing. It looks so good. Let me swatch it for you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Look at that pigment on that. It's so reflective, so cool. That is my favorite shade of the whole palette. If I can just throw this on my lid every day and call it good, then that's what I would do. But anyways, I do like this palette a lot. I feel like it's very wearable. You can definitely come up with some wearable looks, or you can come up with some bold looks for sure. These colors are really pretty. I feel like you have your transition shades. You can use this one as a transition shade, this one here, and then you have some more darker colors that you can definitely deepen out any of the other colors. Your shimmer ones are really pretty as well. I really like this one. This one, like I said, is my favorite of the whole palette. But yeah, that's what that one looks like. Next palette is gonna be this Morphe palette. This is the smaller one. This is part of the artistry collection type thing. This is called the Social Butterfly. I've actually have used this palette a few times on my channel already. I did a palette bingo with this, and also another look that I did just a regular tutorial. I like all the shades in here. I haven't played a lot with these mattes here, but I played a little bit with the shimmers in here. I really like this darker, deeper, like green teal kind of shade right here. It's one of my favorite ones. I really like this pinky purpley one right here. It's one of my favorites actually of the palette. You guys know I have a favorite for every palette, but it's like a purple pink, like a deeper pink. Oh, you can't even see it on me. You can see it on my lid when I wear it, but I don't think you can see it on my arm there. A little bit, if you guys can see the reflection of it. It's really pretty. That's one of my favorite shades of the palette. I do want to make more looks with this palette. This one's more, I feel like, fall-y like because of all the dark shades in here. I like that it has a black. Definitely a good thing to have in your palettes, just because you can deepen out a color if you want to, or deepen out the outer corner of your eye. I like this shade right here. This shade is really pretty too. I like to use that one a lot. And I like the mirror in here. It's so big. Like, why can't they do that with the other palettes? That's the only complaint I have for Morphe. The other palettes that they have, the bigger ones, like, why can't they come up with a mirror like this? This thing is like $12, I think, and the other one is like 30 something or 23 or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how much they are, but this was like 12 bucks, I think, or 15. And it has a mirror in it. It's freaking awesome. I love it. I love that mirror. It's so big. But yeah, this is what this palette looks like. It's really pretty. I do like to use that one. Now we're gonna move on to this palette. This palette, oh my god. I remember when this palette first came out, it was like the internet broke. People were talking about it like crazy, bashing it so much. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. This palette, I remember waiting for it to hit 10 o'clock here or 11 o'clock here, because they go on sale at 10 in California, like California time, but here in Colorado we have to wait till 11. But I remember waiting for this palette to come out because people were so psyched about this, and actually I was so excited about it because of the colors in here. They're so pretty. Now once it hit and people were using it and people were reviewing it, it's like the internet broke. People were saying that it was too powdery, that the shadows were breaking, and that it wasn't blending, and all of this stuff. If you guys have used Anastasia Beverly Hills shades, all of their palettes are like that. This is no exception. It's the same thing. I don't know, people I think were over exaggerating what they said about the palette. For me, I feel like it worked fine. I've used this palette plenty of times, and every time that I make a look with this, it comes out great. It doesn't look patchy. It blends really good for me. So I don't know, maybe it was like a bad batch that they had or something, but for me it has always worked. So this palette is so pretty, and I love to use it in the fall. You guys can see the shades in here are really towards fall, winter looking shades. They're so pretty. My favorite shade in here is this one right here, this green one right here, this one, and this one. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this one just because it's a little reflective, but Look at this, guys. So freaking pretty. Look at that green. Like, that is a forest green right there. This one's a mustardy, like yellow brown tone. This one, I said I didn't think you guys were gonna see it at all just because of the color that it is, but when you put that in your inner corner, that shade is amazing. This one also, inner corner, it's so pretty. So if you use these two together, oh my god, they're so pretty together. I'll have to come up with a look so that you guys can see, but those two have to be my favorite. The green one, this like reflective one right here called Electric, and Axis, those two are so pretty. Most of the shades in this palette are matte. These two broke, but that's fine. I really do like this one though. My favorite one of the palette has to be this forest green shade. It is so pretty. They all blend really pretty. You just have to know how to use Anastasia shadows. There certainly is a technique to these, which I don't think people at that time, I don't know why, but I feel like they work fine for me. And when I make a look with this for you guys will see what I'm talking about. Probably gonna try to get the Jackie Aina one so that it's something more recent for you guys to use, because I think they still sell Subculture, but just so that you guys can see a newer palette. But yeah, I want to get the Jackie Aina one, and I'll show you guys how I use Anastasia shadows, because they are some of the best shadows out there. They're really pretty. As you guys can tell, they're highly pigmented. Look at that. I just tried to take it out and they're still on there. Let's move on to the next palette. This is the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. This one I got from a Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. I don't really use this that often. It has a lot of cool tones in here, which I do like doing cool tone looks. The only thing with this palette is that this is more of a neutral kind of palette. It does have your transforming color, if you want to call it that. You'll put that on top of one of the shades and it'll make it more shimmery. They're all matte colors. I like to use them whenever I want to do a cool tone look as my transition shades, because these are really cool tone. They are very natural, obviously, and the name of the palette is Naturally Pretty. So they are very toned down looks, but I like to use them as transition shades. So these ones I would use as that. Sometimes I come up with looks that are, you know, just with these colors, and I don't use them just as transition shades. I'll usually still use them as a regular eyeshadow look. I do like them. This blue one right here is one of my favorite ones from the palette, and it's a really cool toned blue. Swatch it for you guys so you guys can see. If you guys see what I'm talking about, it has that gray undertone to it. So definitely, if you want to do cool tones, I would definitely suggest something like this. This is the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty. I don't use it that often, but I do use it sometimes, so that's why I keep it. But yeah, that is the Naturally Pretty palette. Next up is Manny's first palette that he came out with. Manny MUA, if you guys know him or watch him, he has his own makeup brand called Lunar Beauty. This is the first palette that he came out with last year that he came out with this. This is really pretty. This is the Life's a Drag palette, and right here is the name of the brand, Lunar Beauty. And then this is what the palette looks like. It's really pretty. I like that he made it this way. Here, from here to here, you have all your neutral look shades that you can use. Most of them are matte. Actually, they're all matte on this side. He only has 2 shimmers on here, and the rest of the palette is matte. So if you're a matte girl, these are for you. This palette is really pretty. I do like using this from time to time as well. The one shade that I really like from this palette is called Beat, which is the shimmer shade right here. I've used this shade as a highlight on my face before. It is so pretty, so reflective, really pretty. I like that it has a white in there, and it also has a black, so you guys can deepen out your outer corner, like I said, with the black, and then highlight with the white. These are really pigmented as well. This one is more of a transitional kind of shade. I mean, you can still see it, but this one would be good to blend out this one right here, or even if you wanted to blend out that purple one on top of this one, you can just blend it on top of that purple and it will look so pretty. This palette is really pretty. I do use it from time to time. I don't use it so much, but I do use it sometimes. So I do like this palette as well. This is, and then it has a mirror here, if you guys can see. It's really pretty and it looks really cool. I like the design around it. And then on here on the mirror it says "Be a Queen." So cute. I love the whole thing behind this. Is really pretty. Manny, he's really cool too. That is the Love is a Drag palette. Alright guys, so that is it for the second part of my eyeshadow palette collection. There's gonna be actually 3 parts. I know I said 2, but there's gonna be 3 because I have a lot of more stuff to go through. So yeah, there'll be 3 parts. This is just the second one. If you haven't watched the first one, I'll link it down below. I'll also link the Vanity Tour one down below so you guys can watch it. But yeah, my camera's actually about to die, so I can't keep going for you guys, but that is part number 2. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We'll see you in my next one. Toodles.